Alright, today's video we're going to be, or this weekend's video, we're just going to be working some conversion questions. Kind of something maybe you can refer back to before a test, something you can watch this weekend to remind you how this works, maybe give you a little bit of extra practice watching me solve these problems, so when you show up on Monday we can just get right back into doing our work. What we have here is a situation where the weight limit for checked baggage when traveling to Brazil is 70 pounds. What is that weight in kilograms? Alright, so we've got our conversion here. We know that we're starting with pounds. We know that we need kilogram. This is the information the problem gives me, so I need to go about making my conversion. Now you've been taught so far that when you want to do conversion, that you want to multiply fractions. And right here, I put what I start with. I started off with 70 pounds. That unit follows me down here to the bottom middle. I want to do what I want to write what I want now. I want kilogram. So kilogram, and that unit follows me to the top middle. Now I have information. Does this information convert pounds into kilograms? Yes, it does. So now all I have to do is put the numbers in the correct position. Well, the pound is 1. The kilogram is the 0.454. Just like I told you in class on Friday, or at least one of the students in the class told us on Friday, that when there's a 1 on the bottom, all I have to do is multiply. Because if I'm doing top times top and bottom times bottom, I end up with 70 times 0.454 over 1 times 1. And of course, that's not important to me because 1 times 1 is 1. So all I have to do is solve this question. So I take my 70 and I put it underneath the 454. The reason I'm doing that is because this has more digits, so I just multiply that and get myself an answer. It's very simple. So 0, 0, 0, 0, scratch that out. Placeholder, 28, 37, 31, 3. Add all that together, 0, 8, 7, 1, 3. How many numbers are in the decimal in my question? 1, 2, 3. That means I need that many in my answer. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3. 31.78. And I can leave the 0 there or I can drop it off. Okay? So basic conversion question. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, in the next question, we'll have to see what's given to us to see whether or not we can have something that's that simple. So, let's get our next situation down. Alright. Tim drinks, drinks 4 liters of water every 2 days. How much water does Tim drink in gallons over a 7-day period. All right? Start off with 4 liters. That unit follows me down here. I need gallons because that's what I want. That unit follows me here. Do I know a conversion? I do. 1 gallon equals 3.79 liters. So where does the 1 go? The 1 goes by gallon because that's what it is. Where does 3.79 go? It goes through 3.79. Okay? Now, remember what happens when I have a 1 on the top? That means I'm going to end up doing a division problem because 4 times 1 is 4, and then this times 3.79 is 3.79. That's a division problem. So, my problem is 3.79 divided into 4. I can't do that. I turn this into a whole number. Well, if I hop on the outside, I've got to hop on the inside. So the real question I end up solving is 379 divided into 400. Well, the 379 doesn't fit into the 4, doesn't fit into the 40. It does fit into the 400 one time. 379. Alright, show my borrow steps. That turns into a 3. This turns into a 10. Turns into a 9. Makes that a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. And then of course nothing. What do I have to do now? Well, to keep the process going, I need a decimal. Got to bring it up, add my 0, drop it down. 379 does not fit into 210. Alright, so I'll put a 0 when it doesn't fit. I do that every time. Put another 0 so I can drop it down. I got to figure out how many times that goes into 2,100. So you're just multiplying numbers to the side. Going to start off with 5. That's 5. 4. 39. 18. It's perfect. Put my 5 right here. 1, 8, 9, 5. Subtract 0, 9, 10. 5, 0. I can't do that, so I got to borrow. Makes that a 10. It's 205. What do I got to do now? Same thing I did before. Add the 0, drop it down. Get rid of this information right here. That was days and this was gallons. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to my problem. I just added the 0 and I dropped it down. 379 into 2050. Still going to be that, isn't it? That's correct. Now, I get to stop after I put that 5. I don't have to go down here and subtract. Why is that? That's correct. It is that way because the third number tells me whether or not I bump that up. So this ends up being what? 1.06. Alright? Now is that my answer? Okay? Let's make sure it is. Is all the problem, if the problem just asked me to take the 4 liters and make it into gallons, then I'm done. Tim drinks 4 liters of water every 2 days. How much water does Tim drink in gallons over a 7-day period? So I changed it into gallons, I did, but I'm still supposed to figure out 7-day period. Right? Well, how much does that represent? How much does that represent? 2 days. So how many of these do I need to make 7 days? Well, I need 1. That's 2 days, isn't it? That's 4 days, correct? This is 6 days. Now how much do I need? Do I need a whole one of these? Well, I don't have a whole 2 left, do I? I just need 1 day. So what can I do to this to take care of this? 1 more day would get me to a total of 7. I need 1 more day, so I need half of that. So what do I have to do with this piece of information? I got to cut it in half. That's correct. So I end up getting 0 because it doesn't fit. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Subtract and get a 0. Drop the 6. Goes in there 3 times. 6 minus 6 is 0. So one more day would get me to the 7 days. That's 0.53. And of course, I have to add all that up to get my 7 days. So 1.06, 1.06, 1.06 plus 0.53. 6 and 6 is 18 plus 3 is 21. 5 and 2 is 7. Brought the decimal down, 3. So how many gallons does he drink in 7 days? He drinks 3.71.